Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial here at Boxer Gaming, and this time we are going to get started with RailCraft. Now, RailCraft's probably the most time intense and sort of most underestimated mod there is, but you actually do a lot of cool stuff with it. So let's get started. Now the first thing I have to show you is that the normal way you would make rails, or tracks as they're called, is changed. You can't make normal tracks the way you would in vanilla. So this is a new recipe with standard rail and stone rail beds, although these are wood, but somehow the name is wrong. So that's the first thing you have to sort of learn, is that anything you knew about making rails and tracks and minecarts in the past is all different. So let's get started now. Let me make it day. It's a bit dark, isn't it? So the first thing you need to know is how to make the Creosote Oil, and I'll show you why later. So one way of doing it is to smelt coal. So do I have anything that can burn? Yeah. So that makes this oil. Now it makes 2, not 16. So I can show you that by taking that out. So there we go, 2 oil per coal. So that's pretty good, you know. It's not too bad. There is a better way though, and that is by making a couple of these coke oven bricks, which is 5 sand and 4 brick, just like that. And the brick is made by smelting some clay, but you know that probably. So once you have a couple of these, what you want to do is get a 3x3 area like that, and just sort of place them down like this. So a full layer at the bottom, then the second layer has a hole in the middle, and then the top layer is full again. So it's pretty much just a hollow square. And if you've done it right, you get the screen on the side, or the monitor, or whatever it's called. Now this is pretty much a furnace. It's just a very big furnace. So Tekkit sees this as one block as well. Just so if you want to later use RailCraft pipes and stuff, it works exactly the same as, for example, this. It's just bigger. Cool. So when you right click on it anywhere, you get this thing, and it's called a coke oven. Now in the coke oven you put coal, and it takes absolutely forever, or 3 minutes, whatever you prefer. And it's going to smelt this coal into coal coke. Now coal coke is only made in RailCraft. It's not used anywhere else as far as I'm aware. What it is, it's pretty much double of a coke, so of coal. So it'll last twice as long in a furnace. You can use it in normal furnaces as well, of course, in generators, all that good stuff. So it lasts twice as long. Now the other good thing about putting coal in here in a coke oven is every 2 coal you do this way, it makes 1 oil. So you get the benefit of having coal coke and the oil. So that's pretty good. So I'm not going to wait for that because it's 3 minutes. That takes a while, you know. So normally you would have, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 of these running constantly, you know. And they're very cheap to make as well, just sand and bricks. So sand and clay. So you definitely make a couple of these, and they look kind of cool, you know. It's a bit different. That's one of the main things I like about RailCraft, is that everything is just different than Industrial Craft and BuildCraft. Like for example, these massive machines of 3x3 blocks. It's just amazing. So now that we have some coal coke, we'll take that out. It looks like that, just a sort of a lighter version of coal. I'll just show you that it works in the normal furnace. There we go, that's working, and it'll burn forever. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So now we have some coal coke, and you know, we can use that anywhere, but for now we'll leave it. Let's see how we can use this creosote oil. Now to make tracks we need a couple of components, and the first one is this, a wooden tie. And we make this by getting some wooden slabs, and you know how to make that. It's just 3 wooden planks next to each other. That makes 6 of these slabs, and 1 oil on top, and that makes a wooden tie. So that's pretty handy. You need a lot of those. And then we move on to the wooden rail bed, or in Tekkit, at least in the RailCraft version, in the latest Tekkit, it's called the stone rail bed, but it is actually the wooden rail bed. Yeah, so that's just 4 wooden ties. It doesn't matter how you put it, so it's shapeless, it doesn't matter. It makes these wooden rail beds. Now you need a couple of those. I've got a few here. Now we move on to the actual track. So this is pretty, it makes sense to me at least. So it's 6 wooden ties and a stone rail bed, which is the wooden one. This is, you have to have it in the right sort of location. So yeah. Now that makes wooden tracks. Now these are not the same as your normal vanilla tracks. These are actually worse. They're slower. And I'll just push this mic out a bit and you can see how slow it is. So that's the most basic rail or track you can make in RailCraft. So yeah, that's definitely not good enough. So let's upgrade them. So to do that, we need the rolling machine, which is this thing here. And it's just a crafting bench really, but then some recipes in RailCraft you can only make in a rolling machine. And god dang it, every single time when I make a tutorial it's starting to rain. Cool, so the rolling machine is quite easy to make. So it's 4 iron ingots, 4 pistons, and a crafting bench in the middle. And that makes you the rolling machine. And when you right click on it, it's just the same as any crafting bench. So 9 slots where you can put items in and it makes stuff. So if you would try the same recipe in a normal crafting bench, it wouldn't work, it wouldn't do anything. But in a rolling machine it works. So this is, I guess, the most inefficient way of making tracks, but it works, so that's fine. So get your iron ingots, 6 of them, like that, and that makes 8 standard rails. Now, once you have these standard rails, you combine them with those wooden rail bed or stone rail bed, as it's called, in a normal crafting bench, and it makes you tracks. Now these tracks are the same as in vanilla, so the exact same. It's just a pain to make. The good news is that you can condense them, so they're only 96 EMC, so you can condense them. It's quite easy. So you only really have to make 1. Now I've put the wooden rails here and the normal tracks here, so we can sort of test out the speed. So let's put a minecart on both, and we're going to push them at the same speed. So as you can see, you know, it's a bit faster, it's a bit less drag, it loses speed a bit less, but in general it's not great still. Let's try it again. So yeah, definitely it's faster, but it's not amazing. Now for the next one, let's try that one more time. Am I pushing it right? I think so. So again, there's very little between them. It just depends on how you push them. Pushing them, of course, is not very scientific. But yeah. So the next up is rebar. Now there's a lot of different recipes to make this, and I'll show you only 3 of them. So the first one is using refined iron, just like that, and it makes 8 rebar. The next step up is with iron ingots, not step up, it's just a different way of making it. So 3 iron ingots makes 4 rebar, so don't use this, just refine this iron, it'll be much easier. And the last one is using steel ingots, and that makes you 8 rebar. So how do you make the steel ingots? Well, you know, we'll get there, we'll do that in the next episode. We'll make something very similar to the coke oven, so that's good. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode.